went to a shitty high school, and we had a teacher who was sick, and they didn't have enough emergency teachers, so they chucked us in with a music class, and my best friend, who was a drummer, was in that class. They had a rehearsal, and we had to just shut up and watch them rehearse and not make a sound. So he's playing away, and I just was transfixed on the drums, and I was watching his hands, and I picked up a couple of pens, and just by watching him, I mimicked the movements and got the beat straight away. And for me, that was like a lightning bolt moment. It was like, oh, you're meant to play drums for the rest of your life. That day, I went home, and just before I went home, I went to the local music store and bought myself a pair of cheapy, like $5 drumsticks. And got home, knocked on the door, Mum opened the door, and I was like really excited. I'd visualised my whole career over the next 10 years. I'm gonna be a drummer. And she goes, what? She just grabs sticks out of my hand, throws them straight in the rubbish bin. I love blues and soul music, but my ear always went to the sounds of funk, whether it's a guitar, chank, or a drum beat.
This band is like funk on the bottom and jazz on top. I think the stuff in Lake Minnetonka is a bit like a big fried platter of seafood. It's sort of, the more grease the better.
Nick asked me if I'd like to join a new band, and I asked him what sort of music, and he said sort of Minneapolis Prince-style funk. So the first image that popped into my head was Prince lying on the table in his pink lace bodysuit singing, "Could you be the most beautiful girl in the world?" And I thought, oh, this would be interesting.
I think the funk scene in Melbourne's really strong. There's a lot of bands with really individual voices, and Lake Minnetonka plays with that Minneapolis sound.
I have some of my favourites here. We've got The Family, and we've got Madhouse. Madhouse is our starting point. I love Eric Leeds' sax playing, and I love the jazzy elements of it.
We had a play, Adam had called us all together, and we played some tunes, and it was really great. And then afterwards we were hanging out, and Adam said to me, "Do you know who Eric Leeds is?" And I said, "Yep, I totally know who Eric is." And he said, "Can you play like him?" And I said, "Well, I can try." He said, "You've got the gig."
Lake Minnetonka's only been around for the last year, but there's been some crazy, amazing things that have happened. Both Adam and I getting the opportunity to get up and play with Larry Graham in Graham Central Station, which was the single most terrifying and amazing moment of my life. And then on top of that, having Dr. Fink not just come and play here in Melbourne, but getting to play for him in his band. Yeah, that was pretty surreal.
With Lake Minnetonka, I'm trying to prove a theory that people will dance to instrumental music they don't necessarily know, but if it has a really solid groove, and our music does contain improvisation as well, I have a theory that people will dance to it. That's what we're striving for. I cop a lot of flack when I go into a music store, and the keyboard tech always hates guitars in any music store that you go to. I don't know why, it's just another MIDI controller, but I like getting around on stage. Feels cool. I grew up in the 80s, and I remember seeing Sheila E. in a video clip around about the Crush Groove period, and she had 2 guitars in her band. The bass player was playing synth bass, and then there was the keys player, and she had 2 guitars, and I thought, that's the ideal band. So we're working towards that. We just need one more guitar player, and we'll be there.